Italian Football Podcast.
But let's talk about Victor Osimhen, because this was an absolute monstrous performance by Osimhen. He was completely unplayable. He scored 2 goals. He got an assist. He got the dummy for the 3rd goal as well. I mean, I think that the 3 Brazilian defenders of Juventus, I think they'll be having nightmares for weeks to come. Like, they're going to wake up in a sweat in the middle of the night and see Osimhen, because he really did. I mean, he really did slaughter them in this game. I mean, where does Victor Osimhen rank now? I mean, you did touch upon this in your post-match podcast, but where does Victor Osimhen rank among the best strikers or the best number 9s in the world right now?
Well, for one, he's the best in the Serie A by a mile. You and I introduced the concept 2 seasons ago, and lots of people were criticized and made fun of what we said. Well, ha ha. But I mean, it's as George Galloway always says, it's always best to have the last laugh, and I'm not going to do that in a Scottish accent. But seriously, it's he is unplayable right now, and as I said on my post-match reaction pod, which is available for patrons, all that stuff, patreon.com/TIFP. Ooh, nice little self plug there. But if we actually get into it, Osimhen, except for Benzema, who is a Ballon d'Or winner, Harry Kane, Haaland, I can't think of anyone else or Lewandowski, of course.
Of course, yeah.
But who else? I mean, he's up there with them this season for sure. He is complete. He's absolutely complete. You saw what he did against Juve was he wreaked absolute havoc in their defense. He had Bremer so frustrated and so annoyed that he made these simple schoolboy errors because he's so difficult to mark. He drops in and out. His timing and read of the game knows exactly when to drop deep, to link up, when to push forward, when to make his run. And we were praising Dzeko a few weeks ago about making dummy runs and fooling defenders. Osimhen does that as well. He's added that to his game as well. He's very technical. He can score in the air. He can score with both feet. He's a dribbler. He is the complete number 9. And as I said on my post-match reaction pod, I hate to repeat myself, but Serie A and Napoli fans, enjoy it while you can. This guy is gone in the summer. They're going to come for him. The big guns in the Premier League. And he, with the characteristics that he has, as you've said for many years, he's got every single characteristic to play in the Premier League. We know he wants to. I think he's the next £100 million player, without a doubt, in the summer.
Not just 100 million. I mean,
120, 130.
If Mikhailo Mudryk is 100 million, then, and I'm not saying Mudryk is a bad player. What I've seen of him, he looks an incredibly exciting player.
Exactly.
But based on what he's done, based on his, what he's done over maybe the course of a year, if he's 100 million, then
Osimhen is 150, 160,
200 million.
Yeah, 200. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I mean, he's got everything. He's got everything. I mean,
and I look
the one criticism, if I can just say one criticism of Osimhen that we had is his finishing sometimes is a bit inconsistent.
Yeah.
And also his record in big games as well. But that's been completely. I mean, he's put that to bed. This season, which was, I think, was only a matter of time. It was always only going to be a matter of time till he ironed that out. And also, maybe if there's any other thing, a little bit worried. The way that he plays, I think, can be conducive to picking up injuries. So that is something that if you're going to pay that kind of money for him, you need to be playing a lot. You can't be only available for as little as he's been available in the previous 2 seasons. So that's something as well. But I mean. Yeah, he destroyed Juventus. He absolutely destroyed them. Bremer, who's
he made them look like a child.
Yeah, I mean, Bremer was a complete disaster in this game. He made unforced errors. I couldn't believe what I was seeing because he's been so good, and I think he's a fantastic defender. But one thing about Bremer is physically, Bremer is a beast. I mean, have you seen how he's built? You just look at Bremer with his top off. I mean, he is like
a brick shithouse. Yes. Literally, like a brick shithouse.
He was pushed all over the place by Osimhen. And Osimhen's only a skinny little guy. I mean, he's not. Do you know what I mean? But he's just got natural natural athleticism and strength and speed and just force. And I mean, he's just a force of nature, and he really he's unbelievable. He can do everything, and he can play tactically as well. He can play as the last man.
Spalletti's
play on the front foot, so you can play on the last man and make those runs in behind. But he can also come deep and hold the ball up and lay it off and link up with the others and play 1-2s. And I think that. And one thing, I mean, if you ask me, is he the best striker in the world? I mean, it's a big question. There's a lot of areas to that. I mean, do you look at form? Do you look over the course of a few years? You've got to look at how has he done in the Champions League. I mean, Osimhen's never played in the knockout stages of the Champions League. Well, not for Napoli anyway. So you've got to look at all of those things as well. If we're looking at it on form right now, I think on form he's playing as well as anyone right now. I think the only players, you probably put Benzema ahead of him, you put Lewandowski ahead of him, but we're talking about 35 and a 34-year-old.
It's only Haaland who's the number 9,
and Erling Haaland,
and Harry Kane, but he's also pushing 30. So
well, I would put Lewandowski, Benzema, and Haaland above Osimhen because they've got that proven consistency over the course of a longer period.
Yeah, agreed.
But as for Kane, I think he's on the slide. I still think he's an excellent player. But we saw at the World Cup, he doesn't. I mean, who would you be if you were a defender? You'd rather play against Harry Kane than you would against Osimhen, because Osimhen is just a pain in the arse, and
he really is a pain in the butt. He really is. Yeah. And if I'm on the topic of who would want to sign him, Manchester United and Arsenal are going to be all over this, I think.